Hey guys, it's your Ford Mustang here, and today we are going to be reviewing the 2019 Mazda Miata and 1997 Mazda RX-7 UD Edition. So anyways, let's go ahead right into the dealership and check out the cars. So first car we're going to check out is the 2019 Mazda Miata, or in fictional terms that is also known as the Odawara Moto Roadster. This AV sports car JDM convertible has a top speed of 135 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds, a cashback of 528 credits per mile, a wheel-wheel drivetrain, and an asking price of 145 gems. And the reason it's in gems is because this car used to be on the Victory Road Grand Prix. It was on the Trophy Road event for the first few days that it was out. But now the event is over, so if you didn't grind for the car on Victory Road, the Grand Prix event for Trophy Road, then you'll now have to pay 145 gems to purchase the vehicle. This is also for people who are watching this video in the future. But if you already spent several hours grinding for the car on Trophy Road and earned 800 points so you can unlock the car in your garage for free, then congratulations to people who grinded hours out of it. But anyways, let's get right into the review with this JDM convertible. So if you watched my previous video, you may have heard that I said that I did not really like the looks on the 1989 Mazda Miata. If you haven't watched that video yet, I'll put it on the end screen and in the description as well. But compared to the 1989 Mazda Miata, I think the looks on the 2019 Miata are a lot better. It has a more modern look to it. Notice that the car does not have pop-up headlights, obviously because it's a 2019 model. But there is more detail to it than the 1989 version. And there's also more detail in the interior, which we'll check that out in a second. But you can notice something interesting with the rear lights. The circles and the ovals. You can see that there is a gear in the circles, which has very red color, and then the lighter shade of red surrounds it in the circles. That is used for the brake lights. And then the ovals are used for the turn signals and reverse lights, as well as the tail lights to light up. It's a pretty interesting concept right there. And this looks a lot more like a convertible. It also has a wind visor behind the seats, giving it a realistic touch. But now let's take a look at the interior. Notice that there is a windshield that has better quality than the 1989 Mazda Miata. But if you also look throughout the interior, you'll notice that there's a lot more detail in it, like I said earlier. There is vents, a touchscreen, a lever, emergency brake, and like I already said, the wind visor, seats, the dashboard, steering wheel, and much more. What I also like about the 2019 Mazda Miata is it has the same color as the exterior, dominating the top half of the doors. You don't see that in many cars, even in real life. So this gives it a special, unique touch. But with that said about the looks with the 2019 Mazda Miata, it's now time to move on to the turn signals and reverse lights, as well as the headlights. Acceleration from 0 to 100 and full speed begins in 3, 2, 1, go. So, acceleration from 0 to 100 is just under 10 seconds. And acceleration from 0 to full speed is about 13 seconds. This car also earns you 326 experience points per mile. Now let's check out the braking on 2019 Mazda Miata, which the braking is pretty good. Now let's test out the handling. Handling is okay, but not the best. You can see it does a pretty good job when I go under 30 miles per hour. But over that, then the handling starts to get pretty bad. Here's a demonstration when I go under 30 miles per hour on a turn. Now for drifting. So now it's time to discuss my personal thoughts about the 2019 Mazda Miata. Overall, I think it's a lot better than the 1989 model for the Mazda Miata. For grinding, this is a pretty good choice. For racing though, the car is not the most suitable for racing. There are more cars that are fit for that category, because the handling isn't the best at straight turns, although maybe it might have more potential than other cars because it does a pretty good job at handling with curves. This car is also great for role playing on sunny days, especially on mountainous roads. Looks pretty nice when you drive on mountainous roads with a convertible like the 2019 Mazda Miata. So, should you buy this car? I think definitely if you want a sunny day car to drive on. Now let's move on to the 1997 Mazda RX-7 UD Edition. Moving on to the second car we'll be reviewing in this video is the 1997 Mazda RX-7, or also known as the Odawara Diazi in UD fictional terms. This is the UD edition of the car, which is a heavily modified version of the 1997 Mazda RX-7. This heavily modified customized version has been made by Confessor, which his name is no longer credited in the square that you can navigate to the Odawara Diazi. Now let's move on to the stats. This heavily modified custom JDM car has a top speed of 185 miles per hour, 4.6 seconds in 0 to 60 miles per hour time, a base reward or cashback of 661 credits per mile, a rear-wheel drivetrain, and an asking price of 400 gems, as this car also used to be on a Trophy Road event in Victory Road. This came out on the same update as the Lamborghini Huracan Evo and the Audi RS5, which was available then. I bought the car for 400 gems, but anyways, let's get right into the review. Starting with the looks on the 1997 Mazda RX-7 UD Edition, there are some parts to the car that ruin the look to it. Now, a lot of people in the Ultimate Driving community do not like the way how Confessor installed wheel covers onto the car, but I don't really care about that personally. In my opinion, what ruins the car is that the odometer gauges are missing the glass inside the model of the interior. However, there are some interesting aspects to the car that makes it unique and heavily modified, such as the exhaust, the giant ring that's been placed on it, the heavily modified wheels. You can notice that there's more spokes in them than the regular version. Aerodynamics, especially on the front. Headlights are more likely just rectangle. And now let's move on to the interior of the car. Moving on the interior, you notice that there is some detail towards it, such as racing seats, a cargo bay, which you find that very surprising in a modified car. Can't really get any seats in it, but there is a roll cage installed onto it. Now if we go back in the seat right there, you can see that there is some detailing on the door panels, a lever emergency brake, some extra buttons, part of the dashboard, as well as your air conditioning and vents. But the steering wheel is not accurate, as you can see over there, and like before, I mentioned that defect about the odometers. You can also notice that this car is a right-hand drive vehicle. Now if we go back in the driver's seat, here are the headlights, turn signals, and reverse lights. You can also notice that the rear from the UD Edition and the regular version of the 1997 RX-7 are different. Notice that on the rear, you could definitely tell that the turn signals and reverse lights are completely different. On the modified custom RX-7, you'll notice that the turn signals are just dominated by small yellow circles, as well as the reverse lights. But if you move over to the regular Mazda RX-7, which is still right-hand drive, the reverse lights are located on the bottom as regular squares. The other main difference between the regular and modified Mazda RX-7 is that the regular version has pop-up headlights, but the modified RX-7 does not. It has rectangle headlights mounted on. So now without further ado, let's move on to the performance of the modified custom Mazda RX-7. Acceleration from 0 to 100 and full speed begins in 3, 2, 1, go. So from 0 to 100, it's only about 7 seconds. Maybe even a little less than that. Acceleration is very fast from 0 to 100. While 0 to full speed is more likely 12 seconds. XP earns you 372 per mile. Now let's move on to the braking. And braking is absolutely phenomenal on this car. Now let's test out the handling, which isn't the best. Can drifting do a great job? Let's find out. And you can see that drifting is okay, but it's not the best. And you expect better handling and drifting for a heavily modified JDM car like this. So here are my personal thoughts and opinion about the 1997 Mazda RX-7 UD Edition. So for grinding, this car is okay, as you can earn some very quick money with this insanely quick acceleration. Racing though, the car is just not made for that. You expect better for a heavily modified customized JDM car to do good at handling and drifting, but this car is just not made for that. And for role playing, it wouldn't be the best either, since you wouldn't really see a modified car during real life role plays. But yes guys, that's going to be it for the video right there. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts below, and join my Discord server located in the description if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications, as I like to upload ultimate driving content. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.